Looks like we have hashtag mass non-compliance and hashtag on the 20th and just a little bit more coming right up. And good morning, good top of the morning to you on this 9/11 weekend. Hope you guys are having a peaceful start or a peaceful midway of your weekend. But I do have a bit of news for you, and I have a couple of digs. So I think this will be, maybe slightly entertaining and I don't know, maybe informative, but we'll see what happens. And of course, I will give a thanks to our patrons, subscribers, and of course, the viewers like yourself. I will be right back. All right, good morning once again, and thank you so much for joining me on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. And this is what I've entitled the Weekend Wrap, and it is a heavy weekend. And I've tried to include some things from the week because the week was pretty loaded itself. But then, of course, yesterday was a much different kind of day, and so we'll talk just a little bit about that. We'll talk about maybe some sightings from this regime is what I'm going to refer to this as. But I'm not going to say that I'm not going to give them any commemorative creds or anything because I don't think it's needed, deserved. So I'm not going to be fluffing and padding with that. I'm not going to be doing that. So thank you so much for coming in, and good morning to John H. Roberts Jr. and Fancy Truth. And I want to say welcome to the channel to Haas 00312 Zach Sap TV. So thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. So yeah, I never want to take for granted my people over on Twitch. So I appreciate it. And good morning, it's Marcy T. Marcy T, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. And yeah, so good morning to you guys. So we have a ton of things. I mean, I have a couple of digs for the current VP, somebody that does it better than I think anybody on social media. Um, yeah, but it's more than satire. But he's ex-military, so I think he's earned the stripes to be to be critical, to be skeptical, or to be cynical, extra cynical. So I'll share some of that with you. Also, just give you a recap of what we're going to talk about. It looks like Dr. Leana Wen is back. Miss Carrot before the people herself is back. Also, I was wondering, I'm curious, I'm thinking that the teachers unions are back again. So now we're back in the, dare I say, round two of the CV19 season. And it looks like to me, their influences are back, or they're pulling the strings again. So we also have, we have a little bit from the We Forum. It was talking about, it's kind of going back. We're going to go back just a little bit where it talks about Labor Day and how, we need to rethink the employer-employee compact. So this is, I think you heard that before during the riots. People were saying, oh, well, the social contract is broken. So now, we've got, people from the We Forum chiming in on what, basically on how the economy is, on how the jobs, how employers need to, what they need to be doing. But to me, it's actually, they're doing the opposite of that. So we'll get into that. So it's kind of quite a few bits, some heavier than others, but yeah. And then we also have, looks like the LA is requiring the mocktail for students 12 and up. So you see, I'm saying we're getting wrapped back into some of the same loops that we were in last fall. And so, what progress have we made? Have we? And so hope you guys are doing well out there. Like I said, I'll show you a sighting from the hashtag on the 20th, because of course, Twitter is its own little ecosystem. And so yeah, you kind of get your vibes from Twitter at any time. So we'll see what happens there. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Marcy T is coming in with a comment, and she says, Fancy Truth told me I was on and I did not get a notice. Well, thank you so much. You see there, the word of mouth never, I guess it never really goes out of style, or never, dare I say, out of style. It'll never be, we all learning by word of mouth. Is that how we started? Is that how things started in civilization, or in many civilizations? So I appreciate that from Fancy Truth. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. So yeah, we'll get going with that. So what I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to start with Leana Wen and what she has to say about, your liberty, and also we have, and it looks like Nigeria has thrown, they've thrown themselves into the mocktail mandates as well. So yeah. So you'll have a state head of Nigeria from Edo, or Edo. He will be giving a mandate very similar. I don't know which one is worse. I mean, can we even use that at this point? So I'm going to share that. I think we're going to go to the Leana Wen first. Yeah, we'll go to Leana Wen first, and then we'll keep going. So I really appreciate it. Marcy T said you guys were talking on the phone. Nice. So thank you guys, and just hang on really tight. All right. Well, thank you so much again. So we're going to start with Leana Wen. If you guys aren't familiar with Leana Wen, I've covered her in the past and her comments on the states attaching liberty to mocktails. And so she's putting out her wishes via social media, or she's issued these wishes, and of course she did it through CNN, and so I'm going to share that with you. So I appreciate you guys for coming in. So this one's not super lengthy. Let me go ahead and open it up for you and share that with you. So I appreciate it. This is going to come from Twitter. So yes, notifications these days. I think I might start doing double duty. I might actually do, if I do a stream, because I don't always schedule my streams. I'm kind of sporadic and whatnot, and I can be all over the place with my streams at times. But I'll try to improve that. But it may get, and then maybe I can't. It just depends on what's going on. But I will also start putting things on the community tab so that you can at least see that there will be one, so you can just come on and have a look. So I'm going to share with you Dr. Nguyen. Dr. Nguyen was a former president or executive at Planned Parenthood, and she said earlier this year that the states, they needed to attach your mocktail status to the reopening of the states should be contingent, should have contingencies. So that's a quick recap on her. So we'll go ahead and share that with you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's see, I'm a little bit. Hang on just one second. Okay, sorry for the delay there. Operator issues here. All right, so here you're going to have the full screen here, and we'll hear from yours truly. And I don't know how these bureaucrats are making the rules and calling the shots and putting out their wish lists. I don't know why that's happening, but obviously they think they have the power bestowed to them to do it, but we'll see how it works out. Here we are.
Well, I hope that President Biden will do three really important things. First is to mandate vaccinations on planes and trains, places that he has jurisdiction over. There are a lot of people who are still on the fence about getting vaccinated, and if they know that they have to be vaccinated in order to travel, to see friends and family, to do business travel, etc., that can really put them over the edge. The second thing is we really need to get behind a proof of vaccination system. We know that the honor code doesn't work. You don't board a plane, let's say you don't go to the airport and say, I am who I say I am. I don't have to show you any identification. I don't have to put my things through the metal detector. We don't allow that, and we shouldn't allow people to carry around pieces of paper that can be easily faked as well. We need a national proof of a vaccination system. And the third is I really hope that President Biden will explore all other avenues, including tying federal funding to try to help push states that are not even allowing for schools to do mask mandates, for example. We really need to do something about that, because it's just unconscionable that there are states that are putting kids' lives in danger and forcing them into a herd immunity experiment that they didn't sign up for.
So there you have yours truly, Dr. Nguyen, and she's back with her wish list. And somehow it's already, these things, she wouldn't be the first person that has thought of this. This is not some brainstorm, some mind blog or, that she's come up with overnight. Honestly, she's just, to me, she's the figurehead. She's the face of it. Because she's all about life and life choices, right? Look at her track record. It's all about sustaining life and your life choices. But she doesn't give you much choice. She doesn't give people many choices, or she hasn't given the innocent very many choices over their body. So I just saying. So that's Leana Wen, and so there she is talking about using the federal government to basically, to run the roost. And I just don't see, I would just see that the economy is not going to it's not sustainable what they're doing. It's not. And I don't know what the people's response will be to this, but I think there's a shift, I think, that's happening. And I know maybe people are losing their patience. Maybe the people's pendulum, maybe we're losing our patience. I don't know. Just saying. Let me read a couple of comments here and then I'll move us on. Thank you so much. And Marcy T comes in with, this is all over. They are declaring war against us thinking people. I appreciate it so much, Marcy T. So you know what? I think in the spirit of you know what I'll do, we'll move on to another segment in the show. But she, of course, you always have to end with the kids. It's always about the kids, right? It's always, you got to do whatever to protect the kids. And so with that said, I think we'll move on to the school districts and how I think that the teachers unions are back. I think that they are. And LA, of course, is all about it. So the next liner I will give you is the Los Angeles requires the CV mocktail for students 12 and up. And then that's from AP News. So we'll go into that. And thank you so much, Zero the Infinite, for coming in. I really appreciate it. Also, I will tell you, I will be on, looks like I'm going to be on Telegram as well as Telegram. For those of you that are not sure where I am right now, but these are new additions and I will bring those to you. I will be on Telegram, or at least I'll have some presence on Telegram, and then I'm thinking about Discord. And shout out to Backyard Politics for bringing that to my attention. Thank you. So, we'll see what happens here. And hello, Zero the Infinite. He says, make sure you hit the like button on the way in and share it out if you like the content. All right. Well, I appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and share the liner from the LA school district. And thank you guys so much for tuning in on this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. And yes, so for people that have come in recently and they ask, I'm also on LBRY. And LBRY is attached to, well, it's actually, I think they've deleted LBRY, but there is also it's Odyssey. It's not LBRY. So just check the community tab. And then we'll go over to Edo and see what kind of mandates they're making. So we'll start there, but then we'll go to our liner on the LA school district, and we will circle back. We'll go to an international story that talks about those limitations there. Hope you guys are doing well. So just a slight delay here, but all right. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you have an issue with either the sound or any of that, just let me know and I will try to make it better as always. All right. So what I have before you right now is an offer from a bunch of advertisements here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in here. Okay. All right, so we're on the subject of education. Okay, so according to this is AP News. It says Los Angeles requires a CV-19 mocktail for students 12 and up. This is penned by, or the name, Amy Taxon and John Antzak. Okay. All right, so here we have the Los Angeles Board of Education voted Thursday to require students 12 and older to be mocktailed against the CV to attend in-person classes in the nation's second largest school district. Okay, hint, the second largest teachers union as well, I'm sure, is associated with this. The move makes Los Angeles by far the largest of a very small number of districts with a mocktail requirement. Nearby Culver City imposed a similar policy last month for its 7,000 students. The LA Unified School District, which has more than 600,000 mostly Latino students, already test all students and employees every week, requires masking indoors and outdoors, and has ordered employees to be mocktailed. Under the mocktail plan, students 12 and up who participate in sports and other extracurricular activities need to get their two bite sequence completed by the end of October. Others have until December 19th. Okay. Quote, it is easy to wait for someone to tell us what to do. LA Unified is leading because we must. Our communities cannot wait, end quote. Monica Garcia, a board member, said before the vote, quote, this action is not about violating anybody's rights. This action is about doing our job to be able to offer public schools that children can come to school and be safe, end quote, she said. Los Angeles Unified was among the last of the nation's largest districts to reopen to classroom instruction last spring. The teachers union opposed the move for months, citing health concerns. The district's student population is nearly 3/4 Latino and many are poor. Among adults, poor Latinos are mocktailed at a lower rate than the state average. Los Angeles County saw an increase in the CV case rates in children from mid-July to mid-August, but these have since declined, said Barbara Ferrer, the director of the county's Department of Public Health. The shift coincided with the reopening of many schools with safety measures such as, of course, face flags and testing. She said, adding that bringing so many children to school could lead to more exposures, and officials will be monitoring closely. LA school board members overwhelmingly supported the plan, calling it a sound public health measure and a critical step to keep classrooms open for the in-person learning so essential for students. Board member Jackie Goldberg recalled when polio ripped through her school and her friend in the 3rd grade lost his arm. So now they're comparing this to the success. I digress. Quote, it is our moral, ethical, religious, political, pick a word. It's our responsibility to protect children under 12 who cannot get protected any other way, end quote, she said. Under LA Unified's plan, all children 12 and up will be fully mocktailed by the time they return to class following winter break on January 11th. Those who are participating in sports need to receive numeral 1 dose of the mocktail by October 3rd and the second by October 31st. All the students need to get those first bites by November 21st and the second no later than December 19th. Some parents are eager to see all eligible students mocktailed. Lucy Rimalower, who has a kindergartner in the district, said she is relieved officials are taking steps to try to protect her son until he's old enough to get his mocktail. And that also helps protect her parents who are in their 60s and 70s and help her with childcare. Quote, this feels like following the precedent of all the other mocktails over time that have helped us to have a safer school environment. That lets us feel like it's safe to send our kids to school without getting chicken pox, polio, the mumps, measles, rubella, you name it, end quote, she said. Other parents oppose the move and believe it should be up to the parents, not the board, to decide what is best for their children. They noted the CV has been far less lethal for children than for adults. Quote, we don't understand why you are so rushed, end quote. Diane Gillen, chair of the district's English Learner Advisory Committee, told the board in Spanish, quote, this decision should be ours, a family decision, end quote. United Teachers Los Angeles urged the district to provide public education and outreach to families and access to the jab to increase the mocktail nation numbers in school communities. Teachers Union had urged the board to mandate the student mocktail nations once teachers were required to get the jab and applauded the move on Thursday. So did the LA County Department of Public Health. Between August 15th and September 7th, nearly 8,000 students cases and more than 1,200 staff cases of CV were reported in the county, most of them in LA Unified, which conducts weekly testing, Ferrer said. She said that doesn't mean the infection spread through the schools, and many, in fact, occurred elsewhere. She added that more than half of the county's residents between 12 and 17 are already fully mocktailed. Quote, increasing these numbers is a critical part of our strategy for keeping schools open, end quote, she said. quote, widespread vaccination can dramatically reduce transmission in all settings, especially and particularly in schools. Okay, so this was apparently Taxon reported from the OC, Orange County. And yeah, so there you go. Looks like you have an associate from Atlanta that contributed as well. So there you go. That's what, and I didn't even read this article before I came in, but I just suspect that, you know, the unions they're doing what they did before. So, yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I have a couple comments here. Zero the Infinite. He says, I think Y2 shadow banned me from me because I didn't see you on my live recommended subscription. Fortunately, I got your Twitch. Okay, so there again, I think this is something that I mentioned before, that I hitched on to before, that I think somehow all of these platforms can work together to keep you, I guess, informed of actual streams or videos or whatnot. So it looks like, you know, Twitch is, thank you, Twitch. So we'll try to do a few more things over on Twitch and get the Twitch drive going a little bit better again. And to the new subscribers on Twitch, thank you so much. And yeah, so I know Twitch, I think Twitch, if you do it from a desktop, I think you can kind of control, you might have a little bit more control. If you kind of start out with a desktop on Twitch and then you add and you just grab the app and just kind of use your app, you'll get your notifications on your app. And sometimes the apps will grab you before, you know, you get them via email or whatever, because YouTube you cannot rely on YouTube, and that is what it is. We're going to take a quick little break, and then I'm going to be taking you back to we're going to see what's happening in Nigeria. Nigeria has passed, well, I'm not going to say passed. I don't know their doctrine or their rules or their laws. So, but we'll have a look at that. But yeah, maybe we'll take you guys through Twitch. As for a while, it seemed like it was taking me a bit of time to find myself, hello, Cooking Inamo. I appreciate it. So I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll stop in at Edo of Nigeria and see what's going on there. And I will be right back. This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Marcy T., Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back right after this. right, guys, thank you so much. And I'm going to let you hear from the government of Edo, and that's in Nigeria. But I'm going to let you hear what's happening there in terms of their mandates, and you can, decide for yourself. And then we have, like, I just have a ton of, some of them are kind of like microbytes, and then, but no less, no less significant or important. But yeah, I'm just gonna roll them out, and then the ones that we have commentary on, we'll do that. In fact, I might open this up for just a little bit, see if you'd like to chime in. And I really appreciate you guys so much for coming in. So we're gonna go to that. We're gonna go to Edo right now. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. All right, so just really quickly here, let me give you a little bit of their context here. This came from a Dr. Gold, and yeah, I'll just let you. She thinks this is shocking, so we're going, and I think it is too. But I'm just going to go ahead and share it. We'll do the remarks later.
So, from the second week of September, people may not be allowed to worship in churches and mosques without showing proof of their vaccination cards at the gates. Similarly, people will not be allowed to event centers or parties or receptions without showing proof of their vaccination cards at the gates of these occasions. We have made adequate arrangements with security to prevent anybody who does not have a vaccination card from accessing any of these events. Also, you will not be allowed to access banking services in Edo State from the middle of September if you have not been vaccinated.
All right. Thank you guys so much once again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. So there you go. You got your financial system being attached to. Are you guys seeing the trend here? Are you guys seeing the trend here? Like I said, we have tons of bytes. I will open this up to have some engagement, some human engagement here. And I appreciate that from you guys. And so we're going to keep going here. But that was from Nigeria. And yes, I really appreciate you guys for coming in as always. So we're going to move on. And yeah, hope you guys are doing well. If you've just joined us, we are coming out of our Nigeria mandate story. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. But let me switch gears here just a second. So this clip that I'm about to show you now is going to be from a veteran, and he has his own opinion and his own delivery and his own cynicism about this current administration. And it's going to be about your favorite VP. So he's going to do his own skit. To me, it's much better than anything you'll find on SNL. The overlords won't like it, but we're going to throw the caution to the wind anyway. I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. So hold on, and I'm going to share it with you right now. So it's going to be just a couple of minutes, but I just think it's one of the best digs on the tubes. And he's done it before, but it just keeps growing. So, all right, guys, here we are. Your VP, the skit on your VP.
Nothing about Afghanistan. And then downtown Willie Brown, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, what do you think about Afghanistan, how things were handled and Americans being left over there? Kamala Harris, Ms. Vice President, Joe Biden is actually giving you the authority to handle the crisis at the southern border with all the refugees, I'm going to call them refugees, coming across. What are y'all doing and making moves to secure the southern border? Y'all like a kid, man. That damn woman laugh at every damn thing. Like she on crack. Vice President Harris, what do you think about Joe Biden stating before the drawdown and the actual exit from Afghanistan that he said you're not going to see anything like in Saigon in 1975 where helicopters is going to be on top of buildings transporting Americans into a safe zone? Me and Joe have an understanding, and the understanding is this. This is the type of damn people that we got leading this country. One person can't stay awake, and the other person is a damn literal Jezebelic laughing stock. Laugh at every damn thing. Ms. Vice President, tomorrow will be the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks on the Twin Towers in New York. You care to say anything about that? Yeah. Wow! Y'all know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling the
Okay. All right. So I know that was a little bit intense and a little bit, and he's actually quite irritated about this whole situation because he's a veteran himself. But that's about, it's like I said, it's a tragic comedy. It's a tragic comedy. And all of these things to me is just more segregation. I mean, and the current regime has its own history of segregating people and being perfectly fine segregating people. So I don't know. I thought maybe that'll break you up just a little bit. If you have a pulse, maybe, just a little bit. But yeah, I think he does like a fantastic impersonation, probably even better than she does it herself. So once again, I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. And yeah, there were all kinds of responses and pushback over the weekend. I mean, during the week and towards the weekend, based on the regime's announcement, their last executive order in which they are trying to bring in the DOL on these mandates. So I will switch gears now, and I'm going to take you to Have You Seen This? And for Awesome Alice, if you're out there, if you're watching this in replay, you might be happy to know that you've got another state that has joined, that at least they're saying they're joining the opposition, or they're joining in on a rebellious measure, not to comply. So I'm going to show you a map, and then I'll tell you, and then I'll share the real under with you and tell you which state that is specifically. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share that screen with you guys. And thank you guys so much for coming in. If you're new to the stream, I appreciate you for coming in. So I'm going to show you a map here. All right, and this was shared. I'm going to blow it up so you can see it for yourself. So you've got quite a few states here that are in red. And my gosh, California is hoping that they are going to join the map that looks like this. So according to this, these states are the first to reject the demands. And they said, this is the leadership we need, respect for our freedom. So we'll see. I don't know how, where the teeth lie behind this, but, we'll see. And for Awesome Alice, I'm also going to share something that you might be happy to see. And then I'll show you on the 20th some sightings from on the 20th that you might be able to sink your teeth into. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share the have you seen this? So once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. And I'll get to some of your comments. Not to worry. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to share the have you seen this? Hope you guys are doing well out there. And I appreciate you guys for coming in. All right, so here we are. So this is our little segment that I do. Okay, so for Awesome Alice, this came out of The Bias at The Bias_news. That Georgia governor says he will pursue every legal option available to stop Biden's, quote, blatantly unlawful overreach, end quote, on the CV-19 orders. Now, to me, that's not very specific, but, I guess it gives you some idea. Of course, it's a firestorm on Twitter, and, it's always going to be a firestorm over there. But that's what we have. And we have one other, the trending. I titled trending in the thumbnail for you because this is another, the opposition. This is what they said. They've created their entire meme that says it's entitled, this is a certificate or a card. They want you card carrying that you are a CV-19 anti-mocktail or an anti-jabber or an anti-sleever. It says, to demonstrate my commitment to my freedoms and the consistency of my principles, I hereby decline medical treatment for the CV-19 related medical conditions. And see, to me, do they even know the breadth of that? What does that mean? So you're admitting they have no idea what the implications are. Okay. So it says signature and date. Note, this is also my DNR authorization. Please keep in your wallet with your ID and or insurance card. Please let your loved ones know to present it on your behalf if you are incapacitated. The gall, right? The gall of these people. So let me just blow that up a little bit. So you can see that. I thought I had this under, you could see it for yourself. But yeah, this is the things that you could find also that was right alongside the mass, that this was your a counter meme that was released, or at least it's probably been in circulation for a while. Hello to Nick Smith. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. So what we're going to do is we're going to round out this stream with the WeForms interpretation of how employers and employee contracts need to be reimagining those things right about now. All right, I'm going to take a quick break here, and I will be right back with that last segment, and we will open up for just a few minutes on the end, or we'll be a little bit liberal, but not too crazy. All right, I will be right back right after this.
This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Marcy T., Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back right after this.
guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. So we'll go to the employer contract reimagined. So you can file that under the We Forum. Okay, we'll do that. Actually, before we do this, I have a little bit of a tidbit for you if you can stomach this. So, of course, yesterday was 9/11, and you had all kinds of sightings, going on. Of course, you had RSBN that covered President Trump and his visit to the NYPD and the FDNY on the 20th anniversary. But then, of course, you also had somebody else that showed up to do whatever her version of memorialization, which I don't know if that even qualifies. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I will speak to some of these comments that I'm seeing about the notifications again. And, I do, that is not my way. I know that things are crazy enough. And, but, that's why I'm recommending some of these other platforms so that you can stay on the ball, for the lack of a better word. Stay on the ball where available. Stay on the ball as much as you like. So yeah, we'll do that. But what I'm going to do now is take you to our compact employer compact, employee compact, a la We Forum style. Hello, Flashback LG. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to be sharing that screen with you. And then I will open this up. All right. And this is here again, this is a little bit looking back, but you kind of get your blueprint from the We Forum on so many things. And according to this, this Labor Day, we need to rethink. Okay. They're going back to, it's funny how these holidays are, to me, kind of, they're kind of touching each other on some way. Even if it's not the calendar date, or if it's past, it's still close enough that the reverb to me is the same. So this Labor Day, according to the We Forum, we need to rethink the employer-employee compact. As you can see now, hiring, work today, get paid today. So I'm sure you guys have noticed by now, you've got tons of retail stores hiring, tons of, dare I say, fast food franchises hiring, and all that kind of a bit. So we're going to go through this. And then I'll open it up just a bit. So if you decide to come in, of course, I welcome you to come in, and you can choose anything that we've, discussed. And we've kind of gone over quite a bit. We've discussed Lena Wen. We've discussed, of course, she's talking about mandates, more federal mandates via DOT, Department of Transportation. We've discussed the education, the LA Unified School District, and what I believe is they're being heavily influenced by the teachers unions again, probably NEA. We heard from them earlier this year, and their demands. And we've talked about internationally, Nigeria implementing their mandates. We had a dig on the VP and her, and her response to everything that seems to be a joke. And I'm probably missing at least one other thing, but quite a bit we've gotten into. So according to this, in the U.S., over 10 million jobs are unfilled in the wake of the pandemic. This labor shortage signals a shift in employee expectations and aspirations. We must build a new employer-employee compact fit for the modern workplace. And who sets those standards? What is that? Like problem reaction solution? Is that what this is? That's what it sounds like to me. Once upon a time, they said, before the advent of mattress sales and before it became the unofficial end cap to summer, Labor Day was a day for appreciation and reflection on the value and meaning of American work. Some people, I'm just playing devil's advocate, some people says it never meant anything. Okay, especially if you're trying to destroy the workforce, right? If you're trying to, crush the capitalism and all of these things. I'm sorry, I digressed. Today, with 10.1 million jobs unfilled, the highest in 21 years, it's time to return to that thinking. This Labor Day, it's time to reevaluate the American employer-employee compact. Economic growth depends on it. Over the summer, hotel and restaurant workers quit in record rates, even as average pay has climbed significantly with increases we haven't seen since the early 1980s. Meanwhile, manufacturing plants are downshifting production as demand has surged. Packed container ships have idled in the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles due to lack of labor. Okay. Call centers, especially in healthcare segments, and are reporting huge turnover numbers due to workload and stress levels. And new terms like the Great Resignation have been coined. All right. Workers of every color are reevaluating the overall satisfaction that their jobs bring and finding the freedom to walk away with the fulfillment isn't there. The quote quit rate, end quote, surpassed the 20-year high this spring and continues to rise. So what they're showing here, you have your little bar graph. It shows the top U.S. jobs in demand. And look at this. This one's from RCT. It's the RN at the top of that list. You'll tell us how you feel about that, RCT. Do you agree? The second one is the CSR, just a customer service representative, and truck driver, CDL. We talked a little bit about, the stew amongst truck drivers, and I'm still thinking I might bring someone in very specifically to tell you about, those reactions and what their statuses are, what their positions are, and what's going on. And maybe even a little bit of a bird's eye as to, what's happening in terms of strikes. The CDL trucker signs bonus, warehouse worker, driver, assistant store manager, licensed practical nurse, delivery driver, warehouse package handler, administrative assistant, registered nurse, medical surgical, cook, sales associate, registered nurse, intensive care unit, package sorter, customer service, cashier, CDL truck driver, home daily sign average, sales representative, store managing, packaging representative, class A CDL truck driver, warehousing worker. Some would say it's a cyclical trend driven by government stimulus and eviction moratoriums that sought to goose the economy, but instead it created a labor shortage. But our labor challenges will not be solved with the stimuli disappear. When the stimuli disappear, the signs posted on nearly every business in every resort town and city this summer, quote, help wanted, end quote, underscore a reality that's more than a cyclical trend. It's a structural change in the economy. The power dynamic has shifted from employer to employee, a shift that was unfolding well before CV-19. Counterintuitive to many, CV-19 accelerated it. Here we go. Population declines, immigration policies, skills, training opportunities, technology, and newfound flexibility and freedom that workers discovered during the pandemic have combined to shift the balance of power from employer to employee. Not since before the Industrial Revolution have we seen such a transfer of power. Therefore, it's time to think deeply once again about the value of the modern workforce and exactly how we demonstrate the worth that we assign to work. What is needed is a new compact, one that employers design with more than just wages and safety in mind. Did you see that? More than just wages and safety in mind. Okay. The power dynamic has shifted from employer to employee. All right, so here's the final part of this. It's time for a new compact. A new compact will account for the near universal desire for greater autonomy and flexibility in the workplace. It's a misnomer that these benefits can only be accrued by, quote, do from anywhere professional services jobs. For example, one of our more forward-thinking clients is now offering a, quote, build your own schedule, end quote, in which candidates can pick between 1 to 5 days in which to work. Another client is considering offering a parent-friendly 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., which allows those who have childcare coverage for standard school hours to participate in the workforce. Both are warehousing clients. Technology provides the means to adopt more creative approaches to scheduling, shift swapping, and responsibility sharing, and employers should be proactive about using it to create a more flexible culture that attracts talent. A new compact will focus on benefits that go beyond gimmicks or quick hits for HR trade, publication headlines, but rather are practical, usable, effective, and resonant. More and more employers are exploring college degree earning programs. Our data shows that the number one reason employees decline to participate in such programs is lack of time. In a new compact, such benefits will account for this reality with, quote, learn while you earn programs, end quote, that work. Also, given our current skills mismatch, this is a program that employers universally need to get right. Similarly, when rolling out our mental health and employee wellness programs, employers should ask themselves whether these initiatives are simply a box-checking exercise or are they genuine manifestations of a business's concern for its workforce. To lure workers back to the workplace, employers need to start thinking about the whole employee, the life they lead, and the values they hold, not just the individual they see for an 8-hour day or a dinner or lunch shift. Employers need to be partners in the lives of their employees, both inside and outside of the work, physical or virtual. Do you see that? I don't know if I like this. And finally, the Great Awakening, not the reset, but the Great Awakening of the modern workforce, where employees seek a better work-life balance, greater flexibility, higher wages, and place greater emphasis on their personal health and well-being, is a cultural economic shift that's here to stay. Did you get that? More emphasis, greater emphasis on your personal health and well-being is a cultural and economic shift that is what? Here to stay. We need a compact to reflect this new reality. It's the right thing to do for our economy and the long-term growth that we need. And as we contemplate the meaning of the past Labor Day, it's the right thing to do to honor the value of America's workforce. All right, how do you like that? Kind of thick, right? Yeah, so who's writing this stuff? You know what I mean? Somebody over some of these progressives, right? To me, it just says that we're gonna be in your business. Okay, we're gonna be in your lives. We're gonna be in every aspect of your life, because working should not just to be about you earning wages. We should also be concerned about your health, your everything. They're worried about your child care. That's what the administration say, that they were going to add 4 more years, 2 on the front and 2 on the back of your kids' public school education. That was Joe Biden. Okay. So yeah. Okay, but I'm going to put a link out here just a second, and I'll take a quick break and see if you would like to share your thoughts. I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. And I'm going to read a comment. Hello, Omega Variant. Omega Variant here. That is a mouthful for me. I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay, I'll be right back, read a couple comments, and then we will say salute. I'll say salute to everyone, and wish you guys a great rest of your weekend.
This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors. Whether you're interested in health, culture, politics, scripture, automobiles, or music, please check out Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Marcy T., Joseph Francis Burton, Paralysis by Analysis, Chrysler Imperial H, Little Miss Goth, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, Anthony Scioli, and Let the Truth Be Told. We'll be right back right after this. Hey guys, it's Black Spring with Autumn here. And if you'd like to help us out with our AI and dissemination of the stream campaign, please hit that like, unlike, dare to throw caution to the wind by sharing, or just making sure that you're still subscribed to the channel. And I want to thank you for your ultimate and baseline level support here on Black Spring with Autumn. And we'll be right back after this.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Hold on.
Okay, I just unmuted my mic. Can you? I think I'm a little bit laggy here. Can you hear the music again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Oh, here I am.
Yeah, there you are. Can you guys see both of us here?
You knew I'd come on, didn't you, Autumn?
I
have
do.
to
I
talk.
There you go. Yeah, sure. Okay, Nick says he can see me. Hey, this is a very wicked lag here. Can you hear the music again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see if this will
Hear
catch
me now?
up.
Hear me? Oh, here I am.
Yeah, there you are. Can you guys?
You knew I'd come on, didn't you, Autumn?
I
have
do.
to talk.
There you go. Hang on just a second. This is Nick says he can see me. But I'm still hearing. I'm
I'm hearing the echo too.
Okay.
Let me go off and come back.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Sorry about the technical difficulties here. It's definitely a new one. Actually, let me run another commercial and see if I can recycle it. Hold on. Okay, so it looks like I've recycled enough here. So Marcy T, anytime. Thank you so much for your patience, guys. And yeah, sorry about that. It was a matter of like the camera resetting itself. So I think everything kind of got to be a little bit laggy. So I'll just wait for Marcy T, but let me read some comments while we regroup around here. I really appreciate it. And we have Zero the Infinite. Everybody's giving us a 5 by 5. Okay. Marcy T is here.
Hi.
Marcy T. How are you?
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well. Thank you. I think we're back to
normal.
We're back to real life right now.
Well, the thing of it is, you guys, is I am more than tired. We've been doing this almost 2 years now. And we have got to get together and all of us just start saying, no. We need to support each other so badly now, you guys. This is horrifying.
Well, I can agree with you. I see exactly. I see the urgency, and you just look like you've been dealing with this on a personal level, and so I totally empathize with you, and I don't know if we have the. It's so funny with all the technology and with all the resources that we have, we seem to be further away from any type of that we're more disconnected than we're not there is no the unification, the solidarity. The words are there, but Marcy T, I just don't know how we could prepare for
I have a 30-year-old son right now, and he will not listen to a word I say. He thinks it's going to go back to normal. And I'm like, no, get out of that thought. It's never going back. Ever. Right?
Well, I think I and I've said that. I think instead of me saying it to people, they're bringing it to me. And these are people that I am stunned. I am stunned that people that I would normally not have these conversations with, that they're coming to that kind of, they're coming to that conclusion that this is here to stay.
Yeah.
Whatever this is here to stay. And I don't know. Some people say it's over when we say it's over.
It is.
I don't know.
All up to us, the silent majority. We have to stand up and say, no more. This is bullying. This is not something that should be going on. We didn't do anything wrong. Why are we in prison?
I hear you. I mean, I don't know if it, but but we've had, I just think that that this was a part of a plan that was set up long before.
Long ago. Yes.
And you really, to me, it's down to, I don't even know if it's a matter of, oh, I'm on the red team or I'm on the blue team. I really think I don't. And then for me, that some of these people, like, I don't know. I tend to follow less channels that are big and that are just self-promotion.
Right.
I'm not getting a whole lot out of that. I can listen to you for on the angle of news and sharing useful information, but the amount of self-promotion and the amount of, mixing it up with your own, I just think that even on the quote conservative side that, some of this stuff is starting to look similar to the so-called other side. If everybody's, promoting themselves and there's no real resolutions, there's no solutions.
It's one snake, but it has two heads. One's blue, one's red. It's the same one. It's the caduceus. Where's my camera? They intertwine with each other and take turns screwing with us, I think.
I hear you.
See it.
I hear you. I mean, I think you're right. And I don't know where it ends. I don't know where it ends, but I do think that we're not, of course I can meme and I can do all of these things. I can drop all kinds of theories all over the place, but what does it actually mean? What does it actually do for, I say, the cause or for the struggle or for the challenges or for
I'll tell you what it does for me, Miss Autumn. You give me hope. You give me joy. You give me love, and you give me peace. That I know there's another person out here that thinks the way I do, and they can see what I see. That's what you do. And that's how we do it. But we don't self-promote. And it's like Plato's not closet. That's a store. Plato's cave. Remember, there was the shadows. They kept them in the cave, scared of shadows. That's what's going on here.
Well, I don't know if I'm familiar with that. And I need to catch up on, I don't know if that's part of the classics or, it's just, but there are many references, I think, that you can go back to, dare I say, Rome.
Yes.
You can go back to the, Greece. You can just go back to many things that have come before us. And you can see, like, yeah, but I'm saying it's like, and I appreciate you, for coming on and for you coming on and sharing your insight and your experiences with us, because sometimes I don't know, like most people, when you're passing by people every day and people look horrified. They don't look like they're confident in what they're doing. It's follow my lead or follow the leader.
I'm sorry, I'm crying, but it's a horror show. People won't even talk to you now. They look at you like you're a piece of nothing. And it's because they're scared. And nobody wants to talk because I don't know how this happened. It seemed like it went overnight, doesn't it?
It does seem like that. It does.
Although it's been 2 years. Almost.
Like nobody really even says, like, people just used to have a little bit of conversation or some warmth even in their face, but you can't see the expression because people are wearing what they call the face diapers or the face flags. And, the children don't really, I see a difference in them too, other people's kids.
My son is sending my 6-year-old granddaughter to school with a mask on 8 hours a day. How do I reach him? He's 30. He won't listen to me. He thinks I'm being a drama queen. And I'm like, come on, man. I'm your mother, not your enemy.
Well, I really, Mars CT, I really empathize with you. And I don't from a parental perspective, I don't have that experience at this point in life.
And I know children need oxygen. It's 2% of our body, our brain is, but it takes 20% of the O2 that we breathe in through our nose and mouth. See?
Yeah.
what they're doing? When you don't have oxygen going to the brain, guess what happens? Your brain doesn't develop and you become less brain wise. I don't want to say it out loud. You know what I mean? They're dumbing down our babies, and people are saying, go ahead. I'm a nurse. My son won't listen to me.
So does he give you any reasons as to why he's not listening to
He
you?
says he's overwhelmed.
Okay.
Don't want to say it out loud. I said, you don't think I'm overwhelmed, dude? But I need to breathe.
That's true. Well, I mean, I think you can just, the only thing you can do is maybe, I think you are probably being patient with him, but then that's also, now you're concerned about your grandchild and how these things are affecting the child. I don't know how to, it's very tough. It's very tough. And I wish I had something, that was helpful that I could share.
Honey, you help us by coming on here and talking reason and being reasonable. You do a lot. I'm just kind of rhetorically saying this stuff because I know everybody else in this world is going through this too, but they just don't want to say it.
No.
Honey, you are awesome. You are a breath of fresh air on here. And we need you.
Well, what I do, I appreciate that, Marcy T, but I just kind of share what I see, and I just kind of share, I just kind of follow threads or follow the patterns that I see, and I don't see any of it being healthy. Of course, Dara, and I talked about race the other day, to me more than I like to talk about it, but I think that so many people are being used to keep this going. Like you're like the article I talked about with the kids. They're saying, how the Latino community they are less mocktailed and this, and they're just they're using people. I think they've obliterated anybody's rights. The civil rights, to me, I don't think that was a championship.
No, it wasn't. It was a trick to get us right here where we are today.
Right, but it's also like some type of open wound or something that they use to keep opening it up. They've got these museums, and there is a living and breathing civil rights museum that they keep open every day. And I'm speaking specifically to people who are Black, consider themselves Black or African American. This is a little bit of a side note, but I'm just kind of trying to thread this together. Even in HBCU football, the people cannot even take a commercial break without showing slave ships of men knees to chest. Wow. And why are you undermining a triumphant kind of sport with this in between? Why are you showing these things? Like, you're doing the white liberals' job. You're nothing more than a puppet. You guys are politicians. You guys are a part of the problem. You need to get out of this thing. Like, get somebody else to cover your freaking it. I can cover the sports. I can be a sports anchor, and I don't need to tie it to civil rights. Right. I can find many things in the world to talk about to keep the fans happy, to keep the people, the players motivated, but I'm sure as hell not going to some civil rights museum.
So then you see the programming. That's the programming.
But it's a part.
So your opinion isn't wanted.
But I was in that loop too, Marcy T. I didn't think anything about it when I was younger. You see what I'm saying?
Me either, I guess.
It's kind of like once that's in your cycle, you don't question it because that's what you've always seen. But I'm saying, why? That's undermining success. Yes. You say you're trying to build these kids up, trying to make them think that anything's possible, but then you go back to something that, to me, I question. And I've told you guys, if history,
called satanic ritual abuse. You build them up and then you cut them right down. Then you come back and lift them up in your knowledge.
I know. I'm telling you, and I don't talk about HBCUs a whole lot on here. I have a ton of experience with HBCUs. I don't tell you why or how, but I have plenty. So I'm not talking out of my ears. But I'm saying I watched that, and I'm just thinking, okay, for every yard they ran, you ran them back. They're losing the game. They can't win. You cannot win this game. Your game was lost because they've got to trot this out.
Yep.
Oh, well, once upon a time, you couldn't do this and you couldn't do that. And but see, there's the part. Part of that is scammy, because I know that the HBCU was not originally, it was never supposed to be a mill for the NFL. That wasn't the intent. It was to educate. It was teachers' colleges. It was to teach students and to teach teachers to educate Blacks. It wasn't supposed to be a mill for the NFL. It wasn't designed for that. It was not. It's a historically Black college. It was not designed for that. And for people like, don't lie about it just to try to prove your point. You're lying about, you create another narrative that has nothing to do with, you're doing a straw man that's what I call a straw man. That's a straw man.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a straw man. And I'm gonna be honest. I think the people that established those 19th century founders of those universities would be rolling in their grave right now, because you guys are doing something that they didn't even intend. That was not what it was intended for. You're a fraud. You're a fraud, and you're not doing anything for those kids if you keep sabotaging them yourself. In-house sabotage, in-house undermining, in-house calculation. I am sick of it.
I am too.
We're going but how is that different than what happens in our schools, Marcy T?
It isn't.
Is it different?
All through my life, because I was half Native American, they put me in the Mexican class. I'm like, what is American Indian have to do with Mexican class? But I had to go there. And all through my growing up in the 70s and the 60s even, I went to kindergarten, I think, in the 60s. I don't remember. It was too long ago. But anyway, they always put us minority children separated. And they treated us like we were so put upon and pitiful that they had to separate us and segregate us and tell us how bad the white man is. And it's like, my grandma's a white man. Okay. So what are you talking about?
And see, that's the thing about it. Like if you go into ethnicity, you can find a little bit of something in all of us.
Yes.
And it's not, and that's the thing about it. And Black people know this too. There are a lot of Black people that have two generations. There's a white father in there, a grandfather in there.
There's an Indian mother too, and a Chinese uncle, and we're all, it's the melting pot, America. And it wasn't like this, you guys, in the 70s. We all loved each other. And then it was the 80s where it started this escalation of racist thoughts in everyone's head. And I started to wake up because of this. I was always
the thing is, Marcy T, I think it was very empowering for you is that you know who you are. And for all that you don't know, you realize that you're in control, no matter what pieces don't quite fit. If the piece doesn't fit, nothing's holding you back.
Right.
You're not you weren't held back from anything because of that.
No. And that's why I'm sad for this generation. I understand why my son is overwhelmed at 30. He has no future to look at. Nobody at that age does. That's why it's so messed up in my brain, because I was free. I see my grandchildren sitting there with a mask on at school. No. I'm Native American. They put us in reservations and gave us smallpox inoculated blankets. And they're asking my grandkids. I feel so bad for the younger generations because they robbed you guys. And I'm mad about it. I'm sorry.
Take your time.
You younger people, I'm so sorry they did this to you. It's not right. I love you guys so much. I'm so sorry. We got to start saying no, though, and standing up and say no more. We're not playing your evil, vile game. Sorry.
Take your time.
You younger people are so sorry because this.
Well, you're
It's
right.
I-
I just don't know. I don't know. I don't exactly have, an answer or the dare I say the plan. I just know that
We just got to
it's going to
stop.
take regular people. It's going to
We
take
got to
regular
just
people.
stop and just
You-
go no holds bar. This is communism. Oops.
You're on in the Black Springosphere. So
Okay.
at this point, I'm not a part of the program.
I shouldn't have said that though, because these suckers are everything out of my mouth they're messing with.
It seems like kind of I mean, I'm hearing a reverb right now. I'm not sure if are you guys hearing a reverb in the back? But like Marcy,
So at this point,
you don't need to, apologize for anything. I'm glad that you come here and that you can speak freely about what you're going through individually. And here's the thing, and don't take this the wrong way, but I'm happy to see that somebody has feelings. I think there's so many people that are just derelict, or they lost their feelings, or
it's gone.
diabolical.
They beat it out of them, and they got so evil from all the evil they incorporated into their own psyche, and they become them. That's so sad. My son, he's hardened his heart. He called me a drama queen because I'm sincere. He can't believe that someone can love like me. What happened to him? I didn't teach him that. That's the world.
I'm not. See, to me, this is where I think their faith comes in, and
Yes.
and their belief system comes in, and I think we also have to try to find things to try to balance us out, things that kind of take us away, and things that kind of help us diffuse, the intensity of things that are going on. Because we have to do these things, and I have to get away from doing this so much, because I used to be, when I first started doing this, it's a lot of work because it's an emotional, it's an emotion, it's an ocean. Okay. So yeah, for those of you that are just joining us, we are just doing a little bit of just kind of doing a little bit of a recap, and we're talking about things as they are and as they stand. And yeah, I appreciate it. And so, Marcy T, I'm just going to ask this just for the sake of technical. Do you have another window open on? Is there a second window of YouTube open? Because I'm wondering, because we normally don't get that much reverb. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm keeping the reverb out. But it's fine. I don't think that they're not complaining out there, so it's fine. I think it clears up, but I'm not sure what was causing it. But it's fine. But
I don't know which one to close. Is it the weekend one?
Let me think.
Okay, yes, there it is.
Can
you hear me now better?
C'est parfait, madame. Thank you. I appreciate that. So,
I'm sorry. I didn't know what it was either. I just thought I was, hearing myself again.
Yeah. Well, see, this is the thing about my issue is I never lose compassion for people, and I don't care, even if it's on technology,
Right.
If they're technologically compassionate, yeah, because I hated my tech class. I just wanted to do the music, not the tech stuff so much at the time.
Right.
But I need it now.
Thank you, though. I need to get it on Twitch, but I just don't have the patience because it keeps circling me around. And
Right, right. Well, and then that's the thing. It's like all of these platforms. Oh, we have another caller.
Yay!
It's Zero the Infinite. Okay.
Oh, it's not Derek C. Williams?
Not Derek C. Williams. No, I don't know. I don't know, Derek C. Williams, if you're out there, your fans.
And we miss you.
We miss
brother.
you. But I think
Derek's
Derek's
channel going.
I know. So here, let me add Zero. Hello.
Hey, Dana, that's messed up. That's messed up. You like say, oh, Derek C. Williams, he's not here. Oh, it's zero.
Oh, we love you,
No.
Zero. You know that.
Yeah, the what is it? The stream meter, the guest meter.
Thank you for coming in, Zero. Talk away, because I need some help here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna you guys go ahead, and I'll mediate for a little bit because I want to hear.
Autumn.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't. Here's the thing: I don't go like full on raw on this channel because I realize it's still that same thing we were just talking about. Like this right here, it still doesn't transcend. For whatever reason, it doesn't. It. And some people just, like I said, they're just bankrupt. I don't know, but go ahead. We talked about the mandates. Okay, the mandates are on people's minds. Okay, I'm just going to put it. Let's get it down to the cob right now. Let's break it down to the cob. Strip it down to the cob, and just be real. People are thinking about these mandates. They're thinking about their sustainability, their employability. Then you get these. Then you had yesterday, and I don't know. I don't really care to hear from this administration on 9/11. Not the one before. I mean, the three before, the 2 or 3 before. I don't care to hear from them either. I just, like I said, it just seems like all these things are connected to me. They're not separate qualities.
Poppy Bush started this in 2000, in the 90s, the late.
Yeah, I think I remember playing that clip because he basically guaranteed that they would be successful.
And we will have world order. And when we're successful, and we will be, we have a chance at a new world order. I'm sorry, Zero talk.
You made him sound like Darth Sidious, like, come to the dark side.
Come to the new world dark side.
Yeah,
I think you got it. I think you got it. What do you say, Zero? She nailed it, right? We'll take that.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, like, that they still like thinking they're trying to pretend like they're still controlling things when it's really what they doing is like a last ditch effort, actually, because it's more a desperation, because you see like they're trying to get people to do it without actually forcing. They want the people to make other people do it. See,
bingo.
Because like, think about it, it's like if they even try to force a little bit, people just gonna be like, oh, you're forcing it on us. Like, most people gonna just be like waking up. They don't want everybody to wake up. So they trick people in doing it. And like, far as this whole thing, like from what I seen when I kind of looked at what was happening before they started, really pushing this fear on everybody, I noticed that they had a lot of pandemic movies before that. Which I was like, oh, okay, that, because like think about it, like every year there was always like some virus they were trying to scare everybody with, but for whatever reason this one caught on, and I was like, oh, they put a lot of work into getting people conditioned to be scared when it came time.
Yes, sir.
There you go. I mean, and see, that's the thing with me is I don't watch a lot of like regular television. So some of these things
I don't know.
I'm behind on a lot of things, and I was fine with that. I was fine being behind on those things.
But now it's coming to us.
Yeah, I was. I was fine with being a little bit behind, but now it's almost like a lifetime is not enough to go back and watch what they've been showing us all of the time. I mean, just go back to your don't litter campaigns. Go back to that. Litter bug. I did productions with elementary kids. Don't be a litter bug.
Excuse me.
Kids are adorable. Don't be a litter bug. Or, just We had no idea where is this coming from? To save the planet,
How
send
about
a mouse to
Smokey the
college.
bear says no, Smokey.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Yeah,
Right.
all us, you. Just like we started this global footprint, not them and their corporate baloney that they do. It's us. We did it. Nah, not even. No.
And you know the funny thing about it, they have like this whole thing like, when we cut down all the trees, we're gonna, we're not getting the oxygen anymore. Which I kind of found out that most of the oxygen we get don't even come from trees. It comes from the sea. It comes from more specifically, it comes from a organism called phytoplankton, which are kind of like phytoplankton, which are kind of like little sea creatures, but they give out the oxygen that we get. So a lot of our oxygen comes from the sea. It don't even come from trees. I mean, trees might give off a little bit of something, but it doesn't give off enough to sustain us. I mean, but that's kind of like one of the lies we've been told. And as far as that like whole that whole mocktail thing, like I've seen like businesses like. Especially, I'll talk about what I see in my company. Like I don't seen them like kind of trick people into telling whether or not they got the jab or not.
What state you in it? Zero.
Tennessee.
Okay.
Ah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But
hang on one second, really quickly. Let me just say hi to M. Jane at Taiwan. How are you? And keep going. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just and I noticed that like one of the things they did was like they I'm like one of the things they try to trick the people into taking this jab was like the hold a drawing for prize or whatever, but like in order to enter the drawing, you gotta show them whether you got the jab or not. You gotta prove it. And they'll give you all kind of wonderful prizes. They enter into the drawing and they'll do that. And I'm like,
Listen, let me tell you guys something. There's 5 rights that we are as nurses to follow. And one of them is the right to refuse any medical treatment. Show me where that went away. If they try to say that, you tell them right in no certain terms. An RN told me I have the right to refuse, and I don't have to tell you nothing. It's me, my body.
Yeah.
You have the right. There's 5 rights of medication.
But see, Marcy, too, you're the only one with any kind of. I'm not saying literally, because you have to know. I don't know everybody in the world or in the country, but you're the only one with the intestinal fortitude and the gall to say, "Look, this is the opposite. This is the antithesis."
CPR. It's ABCs of CPR: airway breathing, airway breathing, airway breathing. Tell me where that's obsolete now. Show me. Do they still teach CPR? Yeah. ABC, airway breathing. Clear the airway so you can breathe.
Right.
But we're doing the opposite. We're doing the opposite of everything, Marcy.
But you know what? Like even though we have rights, like it's like a lot of people don't know their rights. Like people don't know their rights for medical stuff. People know the rights in the job, workplace. I mean, it's really really sad like how much we don't know, and because we don't know, it's easy for like governments and all kind of other entities to take advantage of us.
Yes, sir.
But I think even that's and I think that's by design as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like if you can't think, if you can't write, if you can't read, you can't write. You got governors out in Oregon saying, and that place is going down. They're making LA look like Disneyland up in Oregon. Their governor says, "Oh, well, why don't we just suspend the requirement to prove that you can even read, like for the minorities?" I did a story on that not too long ago. Like,
and they think that's good
for 5 years. For 5 years. So in 5 years, you'll see the effects of
you'll see the difference between those who had the compulsory requirement, and then you'll see. It's like, to me, it's all just it's evil, and it's, to me, it's something that people have wanted, and it's basically.
All right, how about this, you guys? We tell them to prove it. They've never proven that this even exists by Cole's postulate. So what's in the mocktail? They've never isolated a vector called SARS-CoV-19. Never, ever. So what's in the vaccine? How do they know? They got a test for A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, variants? How? Is there a vector variant now that they test for? When they didn't even have the other test, you just recycle it over 24 and you got positives.
But you know what? Even when they promote the jab, like even like in the mainstream articles, I actually read this on ABC News. Like when they were telling people, like when you're getting the jab, like they were saying, like, oh yeah, after you get it, you know, they pretty much say like they would say you wouldn't get the symptoms, but you could still spread it. And they told, and they were telling folks like, hey, you need to keep your mask on when you get the shot. But you know, apparently, you know, after people got it, they thought they would have to wear the mask more because they didn't know that the scientists said this, and they, you know, they had a little temper tantrum and told them like, hey, we want to stop wearing a mask. We want to go outside. You know, like, you know, the kids are asking Big Daddy government to ask them they can go back outside and play. And
well,
said,
here's
okay.
the deal, guys. We want to divert a little bit from some of these terms because they are just itching to ping and shut people down because they will purport that I'm somehow, you know, if anything against the narrative. To me, is propaganda. Anything, if you can't talk about it, to me, it's propaganda. But to them, they'll call me, I'm doing medical misinformation or disinformation. Because
you can fight that. I get on them. They tried to pull that crap on me, and I gave them a picture of my degree. And I said, I got more education than Kill Hates does. So this tells me I have all opportunity to speak my mind. And they reversed the strike, girl.
Well, I mean, I'll go ahead.
You know, her being a teacher, you can do the same thing.
Well, you know, and I have gone back at them before, but it's never been on anything related to.
Let's do this right now. This is commentary, fair use in all ways. We have degrees here in the subjects we're speaking of, so it's fair use and it's untouchable in your terms. Thank you.
I'll go ahead.
No, I mean, I can pull out all of that. I can pull out all of these things. And usually, you know, whether it's copyright or whatnot, you know, as an educator, you're allowed to use materials. You're allowed to use a limited amount of copies of things. But what these people are doing right now, they're
us.
There's no, and that's, to me, that's why the school systems are, to me, they're obsolete, and they have been, and
so is the medical field, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like even what I said, like, you know, that's stuff they put out. That's something the people that were pushing it put out there. So
right, they don't want you. They don't expect anybody to. They don't. That's the thing I notice about even people. They don't think anybody's actually listening. People actually listen to what you say. Mm-hmm. So if you're a liar, if you're a compulsive liar, if you're a scammer, if you're a fraud, we're listening to you. We're listening to your fraud, and we'll replay it at our you know, when we want to, and it'll come back to you.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I'm just, you know, we got into like a lot of things, but see, that's the thing. A lot of people think they can just kind of hide their heads in the sand and think, oh, it's going to go back to normal. And then I had somebody to tell me, he says, well, if this thing could be over if people just take the jab. I'm like, are you talking to me?
Did you call him HITLER?
Nice.
This is somebody that said that they've spent time in Portland over the last.
Oh
no
Lord,
thanks. That place is toast.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I'm telling you, this liberalism stuff is really, it is sweeping. Like it's caught. That's the change. That's what people have to be. Like I said, somebody was talking to me the other day, like, well, don't talk about that in Sprouts. Oh, those people's heads will explode if you talk about this stuff in Sprouts. I'm like, who would I talk to in Sprouts? I just want some
Carrots.
water.
But you know what? When it comes down to it, like as far as like how we move forward or whatever, it really comes down to the people, because like if we don't want to have something forced on us, we have the power to change it. But if we choose to go along with it, then we're gonna get what we get.
Yeah, we can't. Right now, we got they stopped it in Canada, in one of the provinces, because they told them to prove that
was
Coe's postulate was fulfilled, and they can't. So they had to drop it.
Yeah.
So we need to tell all of our folks around us and let them know that's, I don't know if they're going to listen to us or not, because it's like they all got brainwashed.
But see, that's the thing. It's like a new religion. It's like, if you don't believe, to me, dare I say, I'm not trying to be blasphemous to anybody.
You're all right.
Like the Trinity, what? Face flags, social distancing, that, and maybe one other, like those three things. If you don't believe in some version,
then you can't live in life anymore. And I read this somewhere in a book. It's got 66 chapters, or 66 books in it. Starts with Genesis, ends with Revelation. In the middle, it's Malachi, and starts the New Testament, Matthew. It was written.
I mean, unless you got the Catholic one, then it'd be 99
but wait,
chapters.
But wait, the thing is, people are also mocking. You'll find some of these people that will start mocking people that happen to be Christian or identify as Christians. They're wicked with it. They'll be like, "Well, where's your God now?" And
they're demons.
And they'll say, they'll say all kinds of things, and then I'm just waiting for them to start blaming people of faith.
They are already. Girl.
That is going to be, and I had even somebody in my family mocked another family member, and I started to say, so what are you? So wait a minute, you're mocking somebody else in the family for their beliefs, but your God only works if you take the jab.
Wow.
So your God only moves if you take the jab. So what are you on about? Like I'm just saying, you disgust me right now. Just don't do yours. Don't talk anymore. Don't say anything else. Just don't. I've had enough. Like, because I'm like, you have no problem with putting your views on people, but when somebody comes with the opposite thing, you can't handle it. They can't handle it. They can always dish it out, but they can't handle it.
Oh yeah, that sounds like my parents. Like every time I speak against a Democrat, they lose. Like it was like especially when I put out facts, my mom hates it. When I be telling her like the facts myself, I don't want to hear it because she has no way of like countering it. She knows telling the truth, but she don't want to hear it. She doesn't want to hear it.
It's like they find solace in believing in lies because it's too hard to come to truth in your mind that this is happening. Just like 40, 50 years ago in Europe. Oh. Same thing.
Well,
I mean, handle it.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is like true, like having like knowing the truth about things means you're now responsible for what happens next. You're held accountable. You can't blame anybody anymore because you know.
Exactly.
So it's easier to just not actually be aware of the truth or even try to know it. It's easier to just go along everybody else, like, cause like pretty much, like, you know, to be truthful, like most world just full of followers. Like, you know, you have a chance to get people to think for themselves, they gonna group up together and do all the same thing. Most people. It just naturally gonna happen.
Zero, thank you for that.
Yeah, that was, and to me that kind of goes into some people, you know, that whether they're Christians or not, they'll say a lot of people don't want to deal with anything religious because they know they have to, because it condemns, the truth condemns
what you're doing.
Change.
Yeah,
you need to, you know, but now that you know better, you're expected to do better, right? And
it's not easy, believe me. It's not easy being righteous at all. It's horrible. It's like, man, I got kicked. Everybody loved me when I was out in the world being a idiot. Now they're laughing at me because of my mouth, and I'm sitting there going, "What the heck? It changed here. Wasn't me? Well, maybe it was me."
You kind of remind me like when I you know, when you correct people, like when they misspell simple words and they get mad at you, you think you so smart, you know, think you know it all. Like I'm like, no, I don't know it all. It's elementary stuff. Why do you not know this?
How about this one? Oh, you're just crazy. Why? Because you don't understand the words coming out of my mouth. I'm crazy. That's you.
Well, see, it's so funny. It's so funny that we have, you know, we've got this platform, but I'm just thinking we need something that's a little bit more tangible.
You know what I mean? We could all live together.
Because I just think at some point you're going to need people. You're going to need resources. You're going to need people of all different, dare I say, disciplines. You're going to need the knowledge of those.
We all need to be a part of this. There's noses, there's ears, there's hands, there's legs, all of us.
But I think it's also been in the works to, you know, because the newest thing that I'm hearing about is that if they do a mandate on interstate travel. Now that.
Yes. Did you hear all of those, girl?
I haven't heard all of them, but I read.
My God, it's awful. I can't go there until my mind gets settled down from yesterday. That's why I'm all charged up today. I heard all of them, and I'm just like, how can this be?
Well, it's going to create shortages.
I hope it wakes these people up.
Unfortunately, I think it's just a matter of it's drawing more division. Like, you know, the employers are drawing more division amongst, instead of people figuring out how to talk to each other about what's going on, they're just going off into their own little world, or just simply getting angry and saying, "Oh, you're the reason why we can't do this. You're the reason why we could be normalized right now. This could be normal if you just do this, but you and you and you and you." They don't find anything peculiar about what's happened.
Why?
And it's all being suppressed. You know, like those major networks. And then, oh my gosh, there's something else I wanted to share with you guys. Have you guys noticed that there was a press conference the other day, and they were actually talking about the production of meats? Did you guys see that?
No.
Chicken, beef, and pork. And then all of a sudden, I'm watching something on a stream program, and the State Farm commercial is this woman talking to this guy, and she's just standing up here piling up these huge stacks of meat, like slabs of beef. I'm like, that is just why. It's like they're trying to subconsciously they want to take beef. They want to start getting people used to the idea of not having meat. You know, that was in the World Economic Forum they talked about. And also, you know, from the gates of, you know what, he said that people that ate less meat were happier.
Bull, Loney, why is your bunker filled with our meat then? Punks.
I mean, seriously. I mean, have you and this all this talk about the plant-based this, and you know how that has come up the last 10, 20 years that people have been looking at all these alternatives. And then you've got State Farm with a woman. I have it here. But I'm just thinking for people that don't really eat a whole lot of meat for whatever reason, it's like they are subconsciously showing you they're trying to make you cringe, or they're trying to turn you off, so that when these things start to kind of go out of, availability, or that you're already conditioned. We're being conditioned for these things, for their agenda.
Pavlov's dogs, we are in cages now, waiting for the dinner bell to be rung so we can salivate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying, I'm like, what the hell does this meat have to do with a State Farm commercial? And then at the end, she goes, "Stay right here, and I'll bring you all the good parts." And I just think this is State Farm.
Ew!
It's
Wow.
kind of
Creepy.
It's like mockery. It's kind of like some kind of nasty mockery that
Yeah, it is.
like, yeah, I don't know. She added bacon to the top, like these huge mounds of. You
Gotta show that, Autumn, because I
want to
didn't
see it
that.
now.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense. It's like, this is not even the Super Bowl, right? Why am I being subjected to this meat monologue? Monologue.
Smith-Mudd Act 2013. That's why. The Smith-Mudd Act. Oh, bummer. Said okay to legalize telling lies on the tell lies to your vision.
Okay, hang on, I'm gonna roll it out for you just a second here.
But let's be honest. Like the presidents are not in charge of making these decisions. you know, they got
Biden's in charge. He's not even there.
I don't think he's in charge of himself.
No, he's not. He's not there. It's a machine walking.
Hang tight. I'm gonna share this with you right now.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be quiet now because I talk too much.
I just wanted to. I don't use State Farm, so there's nothing that they can do that's gonna, But I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Let me make sure it's on the screen. Can everybody see this?
Markdown.
Okay. All right, here we are. I'm gonna turn the volume up here.
Oh, just one.
Jake from State Farm, it's the least I can do. You really did me a solid with that Maya markdown on my insurance.
Here's the deal, Maya. State Farm offers everyone surprisingly great rates.
Right.
No, really, there are no markdowns, just great rates.
Pull around back in 20 minutes. I'll hook you up with the good parts.
You want the real deal? Like a good neighbor? State Farm is there.
When was Jake from State Farm black? That's like Jake from State Farm. Like, are there different Jakes? I'm confused.
But did you see that? Does that not is that kind of repulsive? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why are you putting meat in people's faces like this?
Well, they called us worthless eaters. Maybe that's the point.
Not worthless eaters, useless eaters. That's what the elites like to call us.
Hmm?
Even though it's because of us that y'all got the money that y'all got, but of course,
They
we're
don't
living
care
off of y'all.
our color of our skin. They just
I
want
know.
us to care about the colors of our skin.
Yeah. I mean, it's all the vision's name of the game. If you're not focused, if you focus on each other, you're not focused on them.
That's
right.
But see, we know that. We can see that. But
why can't they?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very frustrating. It is. And but I'm saying, I think but there was a press conference that talked about the production of meat. And I'm saying something is going on with something's going to happen with that.
Yes, kill. He already said we got to eat worms and roach mouth. Kill Gates or hates.
Why is he giving opinions on stuff not non-tech related?
Yeah, and why does he own all the farmland now in America?
Well, I guess
ask your friends. I mean, see, this is the thing. Like, I kind of got into this conversation, and I just wanted to scream at her. I kind of wanted to scream. It was my cousin. She was talking about, and I just think that's subjectivity. What the point? She was saying, "Well, the Earth is overpopulated." I'm like, according to whom? I'm like, I wanted to say, you're a peasant. That's a freaking elite talking point.
right.
You're not going to benefit. They get paid. They benefit from what they do and what they say. You won't benefit from them telling you that this place is overpopulated. And where in history does it say, where's the cap for the amount of people that are supposed to be here? Who gets to decide that? Who told you that? And you call yourself and you say you read the good book and all of this stuff.
No,
you need to find that for me in there. When you find that, in fact, what he's to me, if you go scriptural, it's the opposite of what you said.
Exactly.
Have we mismanaged or done some resources maybe not so good? That part would be probably objective and true, some truth to it. But how many people should be here? And we've got land in this country that's uninhabited. Miles.
Yeah, and you know what? I remember like when that Infinity War movie had came out, there was some people agreed that half people on the planet should be gone. I'm like, what? Why? Like, you're talking about, just need to get rid of some people. I'm like, for what? It did. I mean, it didn't really make much sense to me why they had that view. I was like, okay, it didn't really. It doesn't really solve the problem. Like, you just have less people, But from how they put it, everybody said, "Oh, well, this is going to solve a lot of the world's problems, or whatever." I'm like, that it's not though.
That's accounting on a greedy mind that would say that they have greed in their own self and their own souls, that they want more than anybody else. So they say, there's too many people.
Uh-oh. Did I lose zero?
Oh, he's probably like, Marcy talks too much. I gotta look.
No. But I was probably going to give you guys the final words anyway. I appreciate you guys for coming on, and I think what I'll do is an actual targeted panel. We'll do something very specific. We'll do a targeted panel.
I talk about everything because I never get to talk to anybody, right? So I have the tendency to fire hose everybody in my way, and I don't want to be that guy.
Did you fire hoses?
Yes, I don't want to be fire hoser, but I tend to be, and it's like I don't want to be.
It's not. I don't see it that way. No, I see your passion. I see your intensity. I see your concern. I see your.
Well, I can see. That's why it's for us that can see. Like all of us here at your channel, because nobody would come here unless they could see. And it's like, it's scary for us because we know what's coming. We're not dumb.
Right.
Zero?
Yeah.
What you got to say?
Yeah, give us your final words, and
love you guys. I'll see you later.
You're bowing out, Marcy T. Yeah, so give us your final word, and I'll probably just say something to everybody in the stream and get going here.
Oh yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me up here, and another thing is like, even though all these things are going in here, like just choose to stand up, be brave, don't let the fear take you over, and I guess that's it. But thank you for having me on.
Well, thank you for sharing with us, and thank you for letting us hear your voice. Like I say, I observe in the chat, and thank you for supporting the promotion of the channel, because it is it's on are we on live support? Do they have live supporting? I mean, yeah, but and I say that because they undermine things, and
Right.
and stats and whatnot. And but yeah, I
Yeah.
am gonna put some other options out there. I think that maybe, I don't know, Telegram. I did that to watch something else, but I'll keep you up to date on that. But Odyssey, I think it's the other Odyssey and Twitch, and then we'll see what else.
Yeah, I never had Telegram because I think I was using for something else, and I still just have it around.
Okay, well, I really appreciate it, and thank you
All right.
to Marcy T. Love to you too, Marcy T. And
All
I'm going
right.
to take a salute. I'm going to take a quick little break on the commercial,
All right.
and I will be back. Thank you so much, Zero the Infinite. Ladies and gentlemen, you had Zero the Infinite and Marcy T. And I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back to say salute and have a great rest of your weekend. All right, guys. And thank you guys so much once again for tuning into this segment of Black Spring with Autumn and the weekend wind. And I think we wind up quite a few things. All right. Thank you guys once again for tuning in to this segment. And I want to say salute to everyone. And I see a couple comments that are outstanding right now. And Omega Variant says, I don't like comments sticking around forever. And you know what? If you want to, at any time, you can delete those. In fact, that's another measure, unfortunately, of self-censoring that I've seen other people use, in which they kind of go in and they'll say things, but they'll pull them. They'll leave them in for long enough for maybe somebody to maybe grapple on to it, and then they'll pull it. Then they'll just delete it. So if you guys want to do that, that's fine to do as well. Hello, Anarchy Television. I'm seeing the angry. I'm seeing coffee. Hello. I'm seeing angry and seeing smoke, steam. And Omega Variant says, he says, I will call in someday. Never a good time for me. Okay. Not to worry, Omega Variant. I appreciate it. And Zero the Infinite has got colorful words. And Snapzilla. Yeah, don't miss that. If he's TDOA, if you're within the sound of the Black Springosphere, then it will certainly come over to your neck of the woods. We appreciate you. And the rucking sessions are pretty good. I think I like them quite a bit, actually. So Zero the Infinite, thank you so much for coming in, and Marcy T, thank you guys both for coming on to the for picking up the phone, for picking up the phone or answering the call. We'll say answering the call. Because in the chat room, you guys could be doing anything irrespective to what we're talking about, but you decide to come on. I appreciate it. And Fancy Truth, thank you so much for coming in and for spreading the word. And Nick Smith, thank you so much for coming in. And then Nick Smith, I did not know you went to an HBCU. You said, did you say Southern University? Yeah, that's very interesting. Very interesting. And M. Jane Taiwan, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. And what is she up to now? Says, yes, someone has their YT going. Yeah, thank you for that. I a lot going on. But yeah, I think we got just about everybody that came in. Fancy Truth Zero, the Infinite, Nick Smith, Marcy T. What else did I have here? I think we just got just about everybody that came in and the people that were able to join. So yeah, I don't know if you could hit the like button, I guess. I'm not sure how the like button is even registering with these people anymore. I don't know. Like I said, I told you 1,000 times that I'm not a part of the program and I won't be a part of the program. I don't foresee, like, maybe another channel, maybe on the second channel or a third channel, but not this one. And Anarchy Television just came in. I really appreciate it. So, all right. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. And I hope you weren't too overwhelmed with all the bytes and the bits. And yeah, have a great rest of the day.